today's lecture, we are going to talk about the evolution of management. We are going to discuss the different schools that shape the science of management. The classical school of management began with the ideas of the Taylor. The Taylor can be considered as the father of the scientific management, as he studied the manual work using scientific principles. He published his Principles of Scientific Management at 1911. In his book, he addressed that the managers must put the right person on the job with the correct tools and equipment. The management must have a standardized methods of doing the job, providing an economic incentive to the workers. There is a scientific way of doing things, and he called it one best way. He called for obtaining the harmony in group action rather than discord, and achieving cooperation of human beings rather than disorganized individualism. He called for working for the maximum output rather than restricted output, and developing all workers to the fullest extent. Henry John asserted that in all problems of management, the human element is the most important. He asserted in the importance of time as well as costs in planning and controlling the work. He invented what we call it BERT, the Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Frank and Lillian Gilbert was a student to Frederick Taylor, so they supported the ideas of the Taylor. As we know, Frank and Lillian Gilbert was husband and wife. Gilbert became interested in wasted motion in the work. They emphasize on the following: the application of the scientific management or the principles of the time and motion studies, what we can call it the time and motion studies, the need to understand the workers' personalities and needs to increase the efficiency of the work, use the time and motion studies to increase productivity, hire the best qualified employees, and the call for designing incentive system based on the output. Max Weber was the founder of the bureaucracy theory. We can define the bureaucracy as a form of organizational structure in which people can be held accountable for their actions because they are required to act in accordance with rules and standard operating procedures. The general characteristics of the bureaucracy system include the hierarchy of authority, impersonality, written rules and documents, promotion based on achievement, specialized division of labor, and efficiency. The authority is the ability to exercise, according to Max Weber, the authority is the ability to exercise influence over a group of people. A hierarchical organization looks like a pyramid. Weber distinguished three main types of authority. The first is the traditional authority, the authority that once inherits. For example, the son of the king will be the future king. In traditional societies, the authority is transmitted. The second one is the charismatic authority. It's the authority that one possesses because of his or her abilities, traits, and ability. For example, the artist or the sport stars. The third type of the authority, according to Weber, is the rational legal authority. It's the authority that is acquired as a result of the position. For example, the manager has the authority because of his position. However, one may possess a mix of these above authorities. The second principle for bureaucracy theory is the impersonality. Impersonality means the activities are completed impersonally, which means that self of the individual is not involved in the work. The third principle is written rules and documents. Bureaucracy demands that the written rules of the organization be strictly followed and that the officials remain loyal. All the work in the organization is written. One of the principles is the promotion based on achievement. Bureaucracy requires the tasks assigned to the official performer and completed in the efficient and effective manner. And promotion is based on the level of the skills and ability of the officials. Specialization is the last principle, which means each person should perform a given and assigned tasks. So, what are the principles of the bureaucracy theory? There are 5 main principles that formulate the bureaucracy theory. The first one is that bureaucracy is founded in the concept of rational legal authority. Rational legal authority is the authority a person possesses because of his or her position in the organization. So the hierarchy should be based on the needs of the task, not on the personal needs. And people's attitudes and beliefs play no part of how the bureaucracy operates. Principle 2, organization rules are held on the basis of technical competencies, not because of the social status, kinship, or heredity. Principle 3, task, responsibility, and decision-making authority and its relation to other rules in the organization should be clearly specified. What are the consequences of the unclear responsibility and authority allocation? The first consequence is the rule conflict. When two or more people have different view of what another person should do, and as a result making conflicting demands on that person. The second is the rule ambiguity. It's the uncertainty that occurs for a person whose task and authority are not clearly defined. Principle 4, rules, standard operating procedures, and norms should be used to control the behavior and the relationship among the employees in the organization. We can distinguish between rules and norms as follows. Rules are written, while norms are unwritten. However, rules and norms clarify the people's expectations and prevent misunderstanding. Principle 5, administrative acts, decisions, and rules should be formulated and put in written. When written down, rules become official guidelines that can be used even when people leave. Written documents ensure that people can be held accountable. So, what are the advantages of using the bureaucratic system? There are many advantages of using the bureaucratic system, include providing rules for designing the hierarchy, increase the accountability and reduce transaction costs, reduce costs of monitoring subordinates, increase integration between departments, decrease costs of performance evaluation, the position separate from the person, guidelines and the skills able to be passed to and successors, the stability needed for the employees to take long-term perspectives. However, there are disadvantages for using the bureaucratic system or using the bureaucracy theory. The bureaucratic structure characterized by slow decision-making and increasing in the costs due to the tall and decentralized hierarchy, failure to meet the stakeholders' need due to many rules included in the system.